Yo, it's your boy Rush in the building, promoting my side hustle, Rush Enterprise. If you're in the state of New Jersey, you need armed guards or unarmed guards, just give me a call on my business line and I'll line it up. Then y'all can knock it down. You heard? Today I got two special guests with me. I got my boy Stan with me today and my boy Spoken Truth.
Hey, what's
Salute,
up?
salute.
Yo, what's going on?
Man, chilling, man. Yeah, yo. Today I want to expound on uh gender roles. Like, do y'all think gender roles plays a huge part to keep the society going good? And if so, let me get y'all thoughts on that.
You could let brother go first.
Sure thing. Um, yeah. I mean, I only could be who I am. I can't become something else. I could be an app, like we're modern, right? But I'm a guy, so there's certain things that's just come naturally to me. So I think sometimes we want to think we're above the way that God made us, but we're not.
Where you talking about like the divine role between the male and female, right?
Yeah. Even if you're not even like not even having sex with each other or whatever, like there's still something there that just comes naturally. And so, like it's not for us to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Define it. But I think now we're in the place we gotta accept it because we've been doing this defining stuff for almost 100 years. We already know what it is. So if we constantly defining it, it's more like you're just trying to not follow it, and we're just trying to prolong what's actually is there. So translation, it's okay to be a man. And so God has made
Not
you
yo,
this
not
way
today,
for a
not
reason.
not not in this time right here, man.
But
Nah, they're
but we
like,
have to
yo,
say it. It's okay to be a man. This is how God made you. And we're supposed to be in our truth and all this other stuff and accept stuff. It's okay. It's like you're gonna be all right. It's okay to be a man.
word up. Go ahead, spoken truthful. We waiting on you.
Y'all can hear me good?
Yeah, yeah, I
Yes.
can hear you.
All right, cool. Um, I believe we have to like learn to adapt and coexist with present time, but more fledged be with the traditional um man and woman roles because I believe due to us being individualized, we tend to be more selfish and forget selfless the selflessness act of family and community and village. So people tend to be focused, driven on goals and careers oriented, but who's nurturing the kids? You know what I mean? If we've been I was born 93. If we've been giving our kids to the system and they haven't came out with greater results, we have to change or rearrange something. Something have to play an effect. And yeah, most individuals is not gonna like it, but all reality, that's just our only healthy way for the future to be produced because I mean we all was children before. We ain't been hugged on, kissed on, whatever we lacked hindered us from growing. Then we had to hug and kiss on ourselves. The job for us is try to prevent that from happening again. And granted, some individuals is in certain circumstances already, but long as we know what needs to happen, you know, for me, I'm just allowing Most High to gravitate my individual towards me this go around, um, and just doing things more differently and being more thoughtful. I remember a point of time, I believe it was a point of time, whereas just having a child considered unionship, marriage type shit. And due to the matter of all these broken homes, people was basically playing hopscotch. Um, it creates more of a malfunction within the culture, spirituality wise. That's why a lot of men don't inherently they don't want to date single moms, but it's due to a generational curse that been amongst us. There's several of them. Not really supposed to be intertwining another man's bloodline. Like that was marriage. You get what I'm saying? But I think mom could be home nurturing the children, taking care of the home, making it more peaceful. Dad coming home, being able to help, assist, do what he needs to do around the house with himself, with the children, and going back out in the world. He's coming home to be fueled, like is the charging dock. Like we plug something in and charge our phone. You know what I'm saying? Because it's home, it's with peace, the essence, the smell, the kids running around. That's all charging our soul for us to go out and do the things we do. As well as cooking. Women, a lot of teaching we need to do because a lot of times we'll cook with emotions and angry, and you're putting that into the food and not knowing that energetic food that your man and your children is about to eat can cause effects as well, because everything is energy, everything is emotional. You know what I'm saying?
Where I understand. Cause I think we headed to a space now where things are like the lines are being blurred between both genders, like kind of like leading towards like a egalitarian type blueprint. You know what I mean? I don't know if y'all feel me on that, but that's kind of like the direction we're headed right now.
But I think like when I say like it's okay to be a man, I was like, man, remember like the Smurfs? There was like different type of Smurf. This Smurf do the farming, this Smurf do the bacon, this Smurf. The same thing with men. We're all not the same, but there's a baseline where we keep it Smurfy, and but you are who you are, and that's it. I think, but we have to get to that point where like, yo, like I can't be anything else but a guy, and like with my kid, like she like colors and stuff, and she'll tell me things, but I'm just like, I just have locks. I don't know nothing about settings. I don't know nothing about colors. I keep it the basic. This one is more red than that red. I don't know what color, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd be like lost in the sauce. And one time she asked for some palettes. I didn't know they were makeup. I thought it was paint. So there's stuff that, I'm just a guy and I just have to, I accept it. And it's like we have to be comfortable with it and not, that's somebody else's walk. If they don't know who they are and they're discovering themselves, and more power to them. But for the rest of us, it's like, yo, it's okay to have your own walk, but also it's okay to be a guy and just be honest with it. And that's the part I think for everybody else is doing well, but for men, we got to be okay. Like, you know what? I'm just a guy. I just need stuff to be simple, and just be comfortable with that. And stop watching these goofballs like The Simpsons and the Horrible Male Models and CBS comedies. Just we're not that dumb.
Word. Now, speaking of egalitarian, that kind of through that blueprint of society, kind of threw a wrench on Israel's ex-girlfriend. Are y'all aware about Israel Adesanya, the UFC fighter that broke up with his girl? That kind
Yeah,
of like that threw a monkey wrench in his ex-girlfriend plan, because she was trying to I guess get him for half his fortune, and everything is under his mother name, so nothing is under his name, so he ended up uh having her pay him 500 grand because of lawyer fees and other things in that nature. And I want to get your perspective on that situation.
I mean, I feel like it's a logical move. You know what I mean? We men, let's keep it funky. Like We seen history, we seen time before, we highly aware of things, how shit played out. Now we learning different things that can actually put us in a greater position, because how many men had done fell, how many men fall off of these circumstances, and it's hard for them to pick themselves back up. Um, and it's very detrimental. It's not about love, anything. It's your finances being garnished to supply another individual. You know what I mean? And it is quite unfair, just like child support. I just feel like he did a great move, smart move. I mean, I'm stealth like that. So, you know, I always got my T's and my I's dotted. So that's just one thing for us men, that in this new environment we live in, um, you know, it's so easy to learn things. Yeah, we have to cross our T's and dot our I's. You know what I mean? Granted, he got a lump sum back. You know, that's just an eye opener for men to realize, like, the playing cards is not always awkward. Like, sometimes you can prevail and still be a good person, a good man of statue. But a lot of times men fall off, and it, you know, they lose their dignity, or they lose their character compass, or, you know, they'll just fall in depression type shit. And, you know, that's a real thing, because we work hard for the shit we accomplish. Like, hard. Like, we ain't really never came out here and had shit handed to us for somebody try to come take some shit from us that we work hard for. When shit, if you needed 10 grand possibility, niggas will give you 10 grand. If a brother had it. I mean, he got it, but it's all about communication and things like that. When we get deeper, I got some shit to say. It's just crazy how, you know, I'm able to see shit, and we able to see shit, and as men, we could put shit, the pieces to the puzzle together, if we eliminate emotion, and, you know, we speak with truth, and only thing we doing is helping other individuals. You feel what I'm saying?
Hey, I gotta say something. If I have $10,000, I ain't giving it to you. Don't come for me. Like, don't be pocket watching me. I ain't giving it to you. I think this to speak to the testament of, you know, we talk about like gender roles, but there's no gender roles when you want that money, huh?
Yo, Stan, but you know the crazy part is, like, yo, this chick is not broke. Like, she's worth a couple mil herself. You know what I mean? And
And the
she's
man is still the
entitled.
plan, huh?
Yeah, man. Know what I mean? So I just think that's crazy, man. Yo,
A
but
man is
yo,
still the plan.
she walked into an okey doke, man. Like, she didn't see that coming, nigga. You know what I mean?
Do you know what? I just gotta, you know, I'm just gonna say this, right? I'm grateful for technology. I'm grateful for TikTok, because everything been explained to us from the woman perspective too. And so we know out here we just suckers and another paycheck or another stream of income. So men are just getting smarter, and we were all probably putting in and just waiting for. I'm just looking for the index to put in for the robot wife. Cause at least I know she loyal, because I program her to be so, and she go ahead and help me with my stocks. So, so anybody know the index on Robinhood, how to like go ahead and increase for the robot wife project, Project Eve? Let me know, because I think that's what we're heading towards. And then one more question: if you get a robot pregnant, are those like baby dolls then? Just saying.
Yo, you funny, Stan. Yo, what up, Mr. B, man? Welcome in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through.
What up, man?
Yo, we expounding on you know, gender roles, or like are we you know, headed to a direction of egalitarian type blueprint in society. And now we're expounding on the UFC fighter, Israel, yeah, I'm butchering that. Adesanya. He broke up with his girl, and you know what I mean? She tried to get him for his 15 mil. But it ain't pan out the way she wanted it, you know what I mean? So she ended up having to cough up like 500 grand. Like,
Yeah.
I want to get your perspective on both things, and you know, you can start with the gender role type joint. You heard?
Yeah. Well, now you already know how I feel about gender roles. I don't believe in them. But hey, what up, everybody? So I don't believe in gender roles for a lot of reasons, but um, I do believe that people are just now finding out what egalitarianism is. Actually, seeing a fair world. I think it's always been that way. I just think for a few years, people kind of just lost their way in understanding it because when you hear people revert back to, oh well, granddaddy paid all the bills. Nah, granddaddy paid all the bills because grandma really couldn't work. The money wasn't really out there like that for them. Especially now in a big family. So grandma had to do everything at the house. So that's what it became equal. I think this generation just always thought that was just money, and it was like, no, they gave what they could at the time. And right now, you women have fought to be in the workforce. You're making money, so you ain't got to sit at the house no more. You're not wanting to sit at the house. You're outside anyway. Hot girl summer, every girl
Yeah,
trip,
I feel where you're
every
coming from,
birthday.
but my camp might not understand like how you coming off. Like, let them know like you ahead of the game. Like, if you pay everything up front and there's a paper trail on that, then you gonna get like if shit hit the fan and you divorce your chick, you ain't gonna be
Yeah,
liable to pay for everything. Know what I mean? And the judge is gonna
yeah.
look at it like that. So give him the breakdown on that, man. Because
So you talking?
we sucker free over here. You heard?
Now, are you talking about basically like the difference between being married and divorced and having a child? Is that what you're kind of talking
Yeah,
about, or a
yeah.
separate
That's what I'm
subject?
talking about.
I think what you was going at about the 50-50 situation when I talk about that, about forcing a woman to pay half on the bills and to have money, because once you get into the court system, alimony is based off of the lifestyle you provided her. So when you hear all these guys talking about, oh, a real man supposed to pay all the bills, well, you don't went and gave this woman a $3,000-$4,000 lifestyle a month for the last 5 to 10 years. So they about to make you pay that until she get remarried, all because you decided that, hey, this is what it means to be a man, to pay all the bills. That's why I never knew that men did that. I always went 50-50 in my first marriage. And that's what men don't understand. And then it comes back to bite them again when, if that woman is not really working, now you paying all the child support because you chose a woman that's not working. And if you look at the laws are set up, it's like, hey, both parents are supposed to pay child support, but when a woman don't have a job, or when a parent don't have a job, they pay the bare minimum. So that's the game that people ain't realizing. That's why I say I don't date broke women. I date women that make the same amount of me or more than me. Kind of what Buddy was doing, and you see how it played out in his hand. That's how that. Hey, Buddy knew the game already. He put everything in his mom's name, which is smarter. I mean, everybody ain't got the finances and finesse like that, but he did right, understanding, like, because I read up on it. It was that they considered them to be married because they had been living with each other or something like that. That's why the money came into play. Remember I told you about that Commonwealth marriage or common law marriage or
Yeah, you
something
know
like
Yeah,
what?
that.
I didn't
Coleman.
realize they in Australia, right? Because their common law for marriage is totally different from the states. I think if you're dating a chick for like a couple years and y'all
Yeah, some
break up,
states are different.
she
Every state is
she's
different.
entitled to your assets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I tell people, like, bro, make her go 50-50, bro. If a woman is coming into your life, I even take it from another direction. Like, your mama and your daddy put you out the house at 18, not in a negative way, but they kind of edged you on out. They don't even want to pay all your bills, and that's your mama and daddy. Your brothers and sisters not helping you, but then you go into a man that you just met 30 years down the line, telling him you got to pay all the bills. It's I never believed that much in gender roles to where I got to pay all the bills to feel like a man. That's not happening. It's a setup for failure.
And before anybody
I
get
I, I,
mad, I want to say
I
anybody
agree with you on that.
PSA. I want to say a PSA before anybody gets mad. It's called adding on to the relationship. It's equity. You have an equity in the relationship. Remember when you call him a partner and you guys wanted a partnership? Well, in partnership, you put up your part of the money. Okay, so this is not about emotions. If y'all call in and flag this on YouTube, this is a partnership. So show up with your money and your half of the money. It's okay. That's all. All right, go ahead, Rush.
Word. And yo, it's crazy to me, right? Because now this new wave of this generation, they're not so a lot of the women, they're not really into that whole 50-50 joint. Like they kind of want dudes to pay for everything, or it's not worth it to them. Know what I mean? And I
They're
kind of want to
homeless.
get y'all perspective on that. Know what I mean?
They're homeless, eating ribs, taking
Fact.
showers at the gym. What are we talking about? You ain't got no job. Y'all better sit down and find a man like it's 1950.
No, for real
This
though. Like I starting to realize that, bro. Like from what I've done and just paying attention, I'm not that old. But what I realized was the women that are demanding these things, they're most likely either living in poverty or living at check to check. And which is nothing is wrong, but it's a dead giveaway. When I hear women talking like that, I know financially she not right. Like there's something wrong and we'll never connect. That's it's beyond. It's like, yo, you're an adult. Like who you thought was gonna pay your bills? Your mom and dad not, your sister, your brother not, government not. Who you thought was gonna do it? And they found some sucker fruit. They found some sucker on the street and finessed him up. Said, "Look, pay all the bills, and I stay
Yo,
with you for a little bit."
ain't got no savings, right, Mr. B? How you gonna stay
yo,
with
you
somebody
you know
for
what's
5 years? You got
crazy?
no savings.
You know what's crazy? It's like, yo, the economy's not getting better, right? Everything's getting more expensive. You know what I mean? The average salary can't buy a home by themselves. You know what I mean? Like it would
Dude,
take
the
due
average family can't get
economics
man. The average
with,
family
with the
can't even
with the
get you an
prices of
apartment.
houses now. Yo, you better come up with a decent down payment, man. Know what I mean?
Dude,
Cause they ain't
the
gonna
average
sell you the crib
family,
if you ain't got the cash, man. You know
yo,
what I
the
mean?
average family rush can't even get you an apartment, a studio apartment by yourself. So this whole thing, when you pushing against 50-50, look, you got somebody going half, and you go ahead and you half of your money now going to savings. If your mom needs something, you got it. If you want to go on the trips, you got it. And before anybody sit down and talk about the white man got something going on called dinks, where they're like not even having children and they're diversing their income together. So the white people have been going on half. If you watch all the old TV shows, Bad About You, Three's Companies, they've been went on half.
I think people, our community, when it comes to education, is they far behind. I think people are learning, but they're misunderstanding. They're not comprehending right. And this goes to, I think, I don't know how people y'all will feel about this, or if this is off topic, but like I don't think our youth is really understanding what they're learning in school. They're not, families are not teaching outside of the schools. They're not showing up to parent teacher conferences. They're not showing up to anything. And I think that's where people are getting disconnected in society, because these kids grow up and it's like they don't know nothing. They can't comprehend. And I'm sorry, but like stuff ain't even hard. Like you just sit down and read a piece of paper on what you're signing up for, or how to do something real quick. Now with YouTube, and it's like people don't even know how to do that.
You
And I
know
think
the reading level is low.
yeah. And then like how you were saying was like apartments. Like I tell people, if you move out these big major cities, bro, I'm in I got this is what 1,300 a month. It's a three bedroom, 2.5 bath, upstairs, downstairs in the middle of Kansas for 1,300 a month. Whole
Yeah, I gotta
garage
tell
and
you guys,
everything.
like in the Bay Area, how they doing it. Like they don't want you to move in an apartment by yourself. That's number one. They will move you in. It's like a roommate situation. Each person is on their own lease. So if all of us was in a 5 bedroom apartment, each of us will go ahead and pay 1,000. So they figure out, but it's just the Bay Area, so they figure it out, right? It was just a family of five. They'll pay the 3,000 flat, but if they sit down and charge everybody 1,000 or 1,300, 1,500 each, they're making their money that way. So we don't even rent out to families in certain parts of the area because they don't want it. They want people to come in and they want people to stay, and they're gonna make you pay half somewhere or another because they're not trying to make people come in single anymore. They want their money, and they charging each person a lease. Like it's crazy how like I'll say this: if you don't have a plan for life, the world will have it for you, and that's what's showing up right now.
That's crazy. Like you even saying that. Like I can't even fathom living with somebody, bro. I don't do apartments or townhomes. That's a situation that's only 6 months at a time. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, but like you said, like you move out to the country, but people want to move to the city because they want Starbucks, and I'm just like, yo, if you live in the city, let's be honest. Everybody's working 2 jobs to stay in the city. You're not even enjoying the city till somebody visit the city.
That's a fact. When I learned that when I got out, when I left Colorado, I went to Atlanta and I'm thinking all these baddies, but I'm realizing either they working, but they living at home with their mama or their auntie or their roommate up, and the life ain't the best either. So it's like, yo, but y'all on social media, maked up, got all the makeup, did up, everything, cash out, posted.
But that's to get sponsorship.
But like that's what's crazy. Like just to think, as we're saying, give somebody 50%. That's crazy, bro. Like if you paying out here paying $4,000 a month, and then somebody say I'll give you $2,000 a month, you go turn that down.
I won't. I'll just like, okay.
Yeah,
All or
I don't
nothing.
understand it either, Mr. B. Like, it's like, yo, if you got somebody that's able to take half the load of bills off of you, yo, you should take that into consideration, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's the difference between
things is not gonna get better, man. Shit gonna keep going up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
On top of that, the terrorists has been getting ready to pop off. Groceries gonna be crazy expensive, man.
But
Paying
that's
$5 a gallon for milk right now, man. It's crazy.
And that's the difference, right? If you don't go 50-50, you're gonna be shopping at Dollar Tree. But if you go 50-50, you go at least Costco twice a month. So if you want to eat some good food, go 50-50. You want to
they just
sustain your
don't.
lifestyle, go 50-50.
This generation of men and women don't understand what life was about. And it's because of gender roles. Somebody told them somewhere that, hey, a man supposed to pay all the bills. I don't know where it started, but wherever that started in gender roles, that's where it messed up at. That's all I can tell you. Because that's what's messing everybody up in their brain. Because most men do it.
But you know what happened after that relationship when the demise, right? It's financial abuse. And that's the flip side to it because you prevent that person from living out what their potential of work. And you had them staying at home like a pet, and that's not okay. Now I'm not speaking about the women. There's also men out here too that's staying with women right now, and y'all don't want to go to work, but y'all staying underneath her roof, giving her dick, and trying to survive. But you ain't got no job. You haven't seen W-2 ever in your life, and you're 40. But he don't get no financial abuse, right? Because he's a grown man and he should have went ahead and got a job. But like, yo, when she kick you out and you got no work history and no referrals, man, you be homeless as well.
Nah, but a lot
I
of
was
these
just
women
realizing. I was just realizing, like, we in the family dynamic, like, regardless if we call them whatever we call them, a lot of individuals are conditioned to be that way until they have to go through the rude awakening. Like, for example, a young man who don't have a child raised by single mom, he got the mindset of niggas giving up until he go through his first trials and tribulations for real. So it's like that's just the programming that got to be depleted. And usually, look at the high school. I mean, look at the football player dude. What's his name with the braids? Black dude dating Hispanic girl. He ain't trying to hear what nobody's saying. Solid, standard. My
Travis
girl,
Hunter.
my girl, my everything. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's just you. Even a big person like that got big people telling him. You know what I'm saying? Is conditioned. Niggas gotta go through that heartbreak to really wake up. There's a lot of niggas wet behind their ears, but we can't even really blame them. I ain't even gonna lie. Can't blame them. It's just the only thing we could do is really, I ain't gonna lie, speak truth. Like, talk that talk. You know what I'm saying? And people ain't gonna like it, but it is what it is. Like, everything Mr. B is saying, because I was one of those niggas 3 years ago, you know what I mean? With paying everything, paying car insurance, rent, you know what I mean? electric bill, Wi-Fi bill, taking my kids everywhere and shit. And then a lot of times we hit that exhausted phase. Like, damn, I just ran it up all crazy. You forget who you are. It's just a condition that happens. But
I guess I was lucky then, you know. No, for real. Like my grandfather, I was adopted into my grandfather was a pastor, but he was married for 56 some odd years. So I got to see him and his wife, you know, most of my life. For the first 15 years of my life, I saw them in marriage, you know, and they helped us get through life up until that point. I mean, when I say we was with them every day, I think the only day we weren't with them was on Saturdays, and that was barely Saturdays. So, I mean, when I got married, I always saw 50-50. You know, I never even fathomed a woman telling me anything other than that. Like I didn't see it as being weird until one day she called me a roommate. And I'm like, yo, what? She said, no, you paying we paying 50-50 on the bills. And I'm like, yo, I've never even had the fathom that as a man I'm supposed to pay all the bills. Like this is the first time, and I'm like, I'm 24 at the time now. So I'm a 24-year-old, you know, in the middle of Colorado, and a woman that's 27 telling me like, "Yo, you need," because she 3 years older than me, my wife, my ex-wife, telling me that I got to pay all the bills, you know, type shit, and I'm like, "Yo,
She was
what?"
abusive. I just want to put it out there. She was abusive.
I ain't gonna say all of that. We both were wrong in that situation. We both were young, but yeah, it was like one of them things that I just got lucky that I played it 50-50 the whole time because I never had no problem. You know, that's why when guys say the system ain't fair, I'm like, well, you playing the game wrong, bro. Like, you can complain about the game all you want. This is why I try to get people to understand. I don't care how much you complain about the game. Think about Hunger Games. Once you're in that life or, you know, on a life situation, and it's real life now, they telling you move, it's over with. You it's that type situation out here in the world for real. Like, you gotta be on it, bro.
May the odds be in your favor.
Right. At all times, like don't be out here slipping because I mean, but look at Halle Berry, Kelly Clarkson, this new young lady.
Adela.
Yeah,
Adele.
I think there's a few people got done like that. I mean, we have a lot of men: Kevin Hart, Eddie Murphy, a few other men who have custody of their kids and take care of their kids. So it's not that it's not heard of. What it is people don't want to go down that life because it's too hard. I mean, it's discipline, bro.
Man, pay the money. That's what I tell ladies. It costs to be the boss. You got to pay it.
No, but a
yeah,
lifestyle is cost.
it costs to play. Like I ain't gonna lie, like I ain't gonna hold you. Like I work at a rehab right now. Facts. Like I don't knock nobody where they how they came up in life. What was the whole program and situation? Because I know trauma's real. So I'm saying I know a lot of people can't overcome that shit. A lot of men. I ain't gonna hold you. A lot of men can't talk about the shit. I was talking to my dad like 2 weeks ago. He tell me he can't even talk about what happened between him and his mom. Only alley oop he threw me was my mom was married and they met, and quite frankly I happened to come into existence. So it's like then we live it in the most elite type of time because everything is just like right here in our forefront. You know what I mean? Like I know a nigga who spent 80 grand to get custody of his son, regular average Joe. Like the way he's suffering right now after he got custody of his son, like suffering, drinking, going to the therapist, because the court shit is not really for us. That shit dismantle you as an individual, especially a melanated man. You know, they drag that shit out for 8 years. You know what I
You know, I
mean?
think that's the stigma I've been trying to get away, you know, get us away from as African Americans. It's always like from our mindsets to get away from the race based thinking, you know, because it's not that I don't understand it, but it's like,
Nah, it's not even a race thing. It's more spiritual. Like it's more like
well,
narcissistic
no,
as
I
against
get, I
spirit
get
type
that
shit.
point, but it's like when people are talking about the system that they don't even participate in, because we know it, because of other men that's in the system, only 5% of African American men actually pay child support other men that are in the system. So that's a small amount compared to all the single mothers out there. That means that most of the single mothers are not getting no type of help. So these men don't care to really play the game right. in any facet, morally, spiritually, financially, legally. They don't care to play the game right. And then when stuff gets sticky in the courtroom or somewhere in life, now they're mad. Now they're throwing a temper tantrum. That's just them not taking
Nah, I ain't
accountability.
gonna lie, bro. That's false because I'm a product of it. Look how I talk. You could talk my page or TikTok. I articulate myself very well. I'm very emotionally intelligent. I'm from Bronx, New York. I
That had
survived the
nothing to do with
streets.
your character, though. I'm not talking about your character or anything
But
like that.
I'm just speaking for the other men that go through these and they actually take the initiative to fight. Brandon, that was just an example. You see,
Right.
an average Joe like me, whatever I've been through, how I went in there, still trying to get my son, speaking about my son, his well being. And there's no, regardless if we want to race, whatever it is no really, it's not right then and there. You know, I was dragged out. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? Got my own crib, take care of my kids, type
can I
shit.
can I ask you, were you ever married?
Nah, I was never married.
And see, but let me remember, Rush. This is what I was telling you about the other day. The difference in the wording on that paperwork. Most of this paperwork goes saying the child support case of, or some type of child support or custody order case of. At the top of my paperwork goes say in the divorce or the marriage of. It's two different categories that you're going off of to show the judge two different things. If you was married, to show the judge that you committed to the woman in the game, right? If you was not married, then at this point you got to prove yourself, and that's why guys be taking 8 to 10 years because you weren't even there from day one, or they don't look at it that way. They can't count you being there. But when you're married, you automatically assume to be a part of their child life, so you go through none of that. Like when men tell me they going through all that, I don't have to deal with none of that. It's
I
just
think
because the game
That's
is
the
played
thing, though.
different.
but what both of you guys are saying though
Hmm.
is more important. I don't think men know the rules. If men know the rules, it become tools and they could go ahead and be effective. I remember like somebody said like, hey, whatever you do, take pictures with your child. Just always take pictures. Have pictures, laughing, everything else, hugs, playing video games, everything. You just take pictures.
Be there every
Be
visit.
active as possible.
Yeah, be there at every situation that you can be at. Be
That be active father.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Post it on social media. That's what they say.
Yeah, nah,
Post
that's
it
a
on
fact.
social media.
I got tons of pictures and videos of me and my
Well,
kids.
now it shows in your kid. It shows in when you show them to them court dates and you letting them know. It shows in all of that. You know, like me and my son, we text and talk. My son send me voice messages. It'll be 2 o'clock in the morning. One day he's at school. I say, "Hey, boy, get out that phone." But we have communication.
Yeah,
And
but I think that's the
it's been
thing.
that
Like
way for 9 years.
women have a support system and they know the rules. We have to get organized as men so that all men knows the rules and also separate support systems. What's going on in Colorado, what goes on in Brooklyn is different, but we need to have that network because women are great with the network and how to trap men.
I
Well,
mean,
you know,
think
that's true.
I think men know the rules. I just think like men ain't heard. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. I could have if I could have recorded the court shit, I'd have recorded it. But apparently you can't do shit like that. And I'd have definitely posted it on my page. But on another
Yeah, they're not
note,
gonna let you do that.
exactly. So it's like we won't really even know what a man going through the false accusations, being lied on.
Oh yeah, that's gonna
He
always
put the
happen.
paperwork in, and then automatically somebody 2 weeks later go get order protection type shit, which automatically reverse the roles to mom being, the victim or however it goes. Even small minor things like niggas having expungements that haven't been processed due to the system. And it's not the system. We ain't blaming the system, but we as men gotta realize what's as play that's hindering other men so that way we can help other men. So I'm saying like the young lady made a video. I mean, I've been on TikTok for 2 years, facts. Met a couple of niggas. Um Basically a couple of dudes want to charge me for certain type of information. Like I'm a nerd. Like everything I know about the court system, how I step right now in court doing what I need to do for my son. You know what I mean? I had to learn by myself. We gatekeep information. We don't want to share information. And granted, you feel what I'm saying? I'm Nigerian. So the overall grand rule is for me, we marry when we link and we have a child. Like I don't really live by the system. I'm only going to family court right now because my son is autistic, such as I am. So, yeah, that's a delicate situation. It's not something where I'm expressing, oh, my son is autistic. He has autism. I would like to participate in his well-being, know about his well-being with doctor's appointments, therapy, and etc. things. You say this type of shit in court, you gotta like repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. You can show them you have your own crib and everything. I got my own crib, 1 bedroom apartment, live here by myself. For me, this is my second crib. I mean, I'm not an average Joe black man just because I come from New York, the Bronx. I really step and take care of my sons. Or like I ain't have a dad dead. My dad was Nigerian. He got deported a couple of years ago. So I really stand on business due to my culture. But what I realize is a lot of women didn't have a constructive male role model in their life. So a lot of shit backfire on men when they actually come into their life, stepping correctly, even if it's 50-50 or playing a long shot. I mean, to each his own. Everybody do shit differently. But the moral compass is a lot of men fall short due to not being self-aware and not having self-control and using certain vices to suppress things that they going through. Like as men, if we could communicate our most vulnerable moments type shit, I feel like we could actually teach people more and show people that they're not alone, and then we could actually be truthful and say what we've been through and how we achieve certain shit, because we the ones that we connecting with, we could communicate. A lot of people look up to these higher up individuals. They can't get next to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Even a therapist can't pick up his. You can't call a therapist 4 or 5 a.m., 2 a.m. if you need them. You know what I'm saying? This is why, yeah, supportive with brothers and brotherhood. This is important. You know what I'm saying? We living
But
in the
see,
greatest time to be alive.
this is my problem with it, because we come out and say stuff, right? And we say, well, okay, everybody say, well, all 50 states are different. They're similar when it comes to laws, right? And if I'm telling you as a group of men, like we come and we talk, right? And I'm not saying it to anybody in the room. We come talk and we say basically overall in majority of the states, stereotypically speaking, that if you pay 100% of the bills, that when you leave this woman after marriage, or if you're in a state where it's considered like a common law marriage, after so many years, this woman can take you for half of everything. You still say, well, I'm gonna pay all the bills because that's what a real man do. But then the biggest thing men complain about is alimony and child support. And the only reason why they're going through the problem they're going through is because they're choosing to live by a certain social, code. And that social code is, as a man, for me to provide, I got to pay all the bills. It doesn't matter if you're doing it because of religion. It don't matter if you're doing it because of spirituality. It don't matter if you're doing it because of social cues or what you were taught growing up or tradition. At the end of the day, when you get in that courtroom, it's gonna be the same situation. You paid all of her bills and you provided her a lifestyle. So
Hmm.
this is what's gonna hit you. And you
But
tell men this, and they say, "Well, I'm gonna just do me, and as a man, I'm gonna pay all the bills." And it's like, "Well, I just gave you the answer. Go look it up for whatever state you in. Read up on alimony and child support laws and how they do it, and then you'll realize why it's not okay to date a broke female, and it's not okay to pay all the bills. And then you'll realize that once you do that, you won't even have half the problems you have."
do you know what that is for that man? That's his second wife.
Hey, I'm telling you, bro, I'm divorced for a reason.
That'll
I
be his
wasn't
second
going,
wife.
bro. Once I started
Second.
learning, it was like, yo, what? And I was young. I got married at 20, 21, and I'm about to be 32 this year and got a 9-year old. But life hit quick and I was young, and luckily I was in the military, so I had time to recover and I had did
Mhm.
things right. So when I hear other people tell their story, I don't try to be funny, but the first thing I ask is, were you married? And almost 90% of the time is no. And every man that I hear that was married most likely have joint custody
Mhm.
and know all of that information off rip. Like there's no questions asked. Like I don't have to go through the mom to find out the school information. I can go right into that school and get it. If if it's that serious, I ain't got to argue about it.
But you see, like you found resources with Married Man. Spoken Truth was talking about people keeping gatekeeping information. I would say this for you, like man, when you hit your 40s and 50s and 60s, from what I've seen and also seen from my stepfather and my father, you're gonna be dating multi-millionaire women the older you get. because your competition is gone. Fred is dead. So it's only gonna be you, like Highlander. There's only one. So
Nah,
for men it gets better. So like if that second wife don't work out, your third wife is gonna be multi-millionaire and it's gonna be like Richie Rich. Like how rich can you get?
it's just men don't want this knowledge because that mean they got to change their whole mindset. That mean the world got to switch. You
But
got to.
Mr. B, yeah, but you know what happened? Life will make you change.
But
That's
then
we
it's too
also know
late
that.
though. Like most people do it when it's too late and be like, "Well, I was young, get dumb. I was trying to figure it out." And then now you're in your 30s, 40s, and you realizing like every day coming quicker. Like it don't slow down. Like it come quick now. I'm like, "Yo, what's going on?" Like,
It just takes them to learn, man. You know, for me, I was a case manager that worked in East Oakland, and there was one guy I was working with, and he was in his 70s, and he cried because for the first time in his life, he signed a lease to an apartment. That shaped me up big time, because here he was, been married 3 or 4 times, took care of all his kids, and they left him in the shelter. They didn't want him in their house. He took care of everybody, and even his grandkids. And here he is in the shelter in his 70s, and he got his first apartment. And this is the first time he has something underneath his name. And that's that silent boomer generation. And like a lot of times you do have to look at that and you're like, yo, this not going to work out for me. I want everything under my name because you know this. Oh, Rush, you can't hear you. You're on mute.
I want to ask y'all something. Like men that go through those horrific, catastrophic situations with women like that, why do you think they fail to inform the youth about their shortcomings when they're dealing with women? You know what I mean? Because you know when a dude plays a stepfather role, you know what I mean, like he get all responsibility, no type of authority. You know what I mean? Like the kids don't care about him, the wife don't really care about him because he a sucker. Like let's expound on
Which
this, man.
generation we talking about?
You're right.
I'm
Because
talking about like
I'm gonna tell you.
I ain't gonna lie.
Hey,
I'm
you
talking
already know
about
what's
Plenty
men.
going on,
I'm
man.
generations.
yo, hold on. I'm talking about the suckers and simp that's older than us. They ain't pass on the game, man. You know what I mean? You
yeah,
kind
but
of had
some of
to
them they
figure
did.
figure this shit out on your own, man. From child support court, dealing with these hoes, you know what I mean? Because you know, a lot of times when niggas be wifing up these broads, they be for the streets for real, man. They stepping out like crazy, nigga.
But you know what she
So,
does though? She got pregnant again. So now you're anchored. The kid like you. Now you got 3 kids with this one, and that's it. But here's something about stepfathers in the old days. You didn't know that was a stepfather because you got treated just as equal because they know y'all siblings. That was one. Two, he did pay all the bills. So what you're not going to do now? I remember one of my friends. His father said, and I quote, "If you're broke and you have to stay in that one bedroom apartment, blame it on your mama." And I was like, "Oh shit." Wasn't my, you know what I'm saying? I'm just a kid that played in the neighborhood. I had to talk to my father about that. He's like, yeah, you don't let nobody disrespect you when you're paying for everything in the household and you take care of kids. Because those are your kids. Either way we look at it, they stay in the house with you, you really taking care of them. If they want to be with their
whoa,
dads, now,
whoa,
if you buy a hamburger Happy Meal, you got to buy everybody a hamburger Happy Meal. They
no,
in your house.
whoa,
You're
whoa.
I ain't
responsible,
gonna
Mr.
lie.
B.
Yeah, hold up. Because when it come to my son, like I don't play that stepfather stuff. Like, no, I'm not stepping nowhere. I'm on all business. And the guy that she with think like you, and that's where we butt heads at. Because check this out, me and my ex-wife make more than you. We don't need you, right? So whether you think that you weren't even in the picture, me and her was married and made this child. You come along 3-4 years into our situation, cool. But don't ever think that I'm a because here's the situation. If the
Mhm.
mom tell you don't hit that child, right? And you listen, but then you turn around and you don't even know the father or you don't even like him or y'all not on the best terms, or even if y'all are cool and he say don't hit the child, but then the mom say you can, and now you just listening to one parent. Like I'm not in that situation. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't hate kids, but you'll listen to the woman. But if the woman tell you, hey, don't hit that kid, but then the father tell you to hit the kid, what you gonna do? You see what I'm saying? Like now you got a woman controlling your decision making. Because if she said that you can't, because the woman is the one that's telling you if you can and cannot hit her child because she don't want to give you permission. Because the second she don't like it, she can call the police on you, or what she can call her baby daddy, or her brother, the family members over there.
Mhm.
He put his hands on your nephew, so you can say, "Hey, you in my house, my rules. I'm the daddy here." But I'm telling you right now,
Mhm.
my ex-wife husband tried that, and he got charged with telephonic harassment. He said that over the phone to me, talking about, "I'm your child daddy." You know, he's like, "I'm stat daddy. I do it when he in my house." And I'm telling you right now, I caught him on video footage. I recorded everything. And I'm telling you right now, those words right there are considered hostile.
Yeah, but
Like, what are you talking about?
yeah, but he wasn't going to hit. But he just had to be honest. Like in this house, this is what we do. Now, if you don't like it, you stay with your father. But what happened? Like he already was vested in because he already had 3 more kids.
But who are you to say
With
that to this woman and this child? Because like, just think about what you're saying. You even if you are the man of the house, you're about to sit right here and tell your wife and that child and her father that basically like, hey, since your daddy got so much say so in your life, you go live with your daddy. So you're telling this woman now that she got to give up her child because in your household, your word
why,
supersedes the
Mr. B?
parents.
Why? Right? Because him and his wife had 3 kids of their own, including the set of kids from somewhere else. He wanted just everything to be uniform.
You see why this shit is so diabolical?
That's
Right?
crazy,
This
bro.
shit don't
That's
make no
why
sense.
they say
So
Because I
that
can
like,
tell you
in
right
the
now,
Bible.
look, hold on. I'm gonna tell you right now. My son is nonverbal. You heard, I've been out of contact with his mom free willingly. I'm not forcing nobody to engage with me. I always
Right.
make it through. See my logo? Beyond stereotypes. I always make it through.
There you
Facts.
go.
But one thing about me though, right? My son nonverbal. So at the end of the day, it's a lot of worries. And then for a man to come in, not even come to even try to see what's going on between our mom so that way I can get my son or be in my son's life, that's weak nigga shit. Cause it's not that certain men don't want to be in a kid's life. There's a particular individual. Everybody's situation is different. But you can't act like my stepdaughter. I couldn't tell her she couldn't go see her dad because we was going elsewhere. Her dad wanted to see her. Nigga, her dad wanted to see her. She was able to go to her dad. Not that I even want to get rid of her. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to step on another nigga's toes. And I'm damn sure ain't going to discipline another nigga kid. I'm going to tell the mom and leave it up to mom. Mom figure that out.
That's real stuff right
And
there,
on
bro.
some
That's how
real
I
case,
feel.
hey,
kids is kids and kids is very delicate. So you doing what you doing, make that kid can hold resentment to you because that kid don't understand why mom and dad is not together. So, and this is why like we gotta really talk as a time when we was a kid, what we generally felt and what we saw. Because I mean, I had stepdads that was in jail and shit. My brothers, man, I had 4. I got 3 brothers. My mom had 4 sons. My sister was the oldest.
Okay.
2 niggas come out of jail. My mom dead. The last nigga, he just did 15 years. He got a college degree. He basically was doing what we talking about, the shimp shit. Ain't no better, right? Paying all the bills. She disrespected him on Thanksgiving. Do you know what he went and did? He went and left and went and did drugs.
Tragedy.
but that's what I'm saying.
No,
Look,
he on a
when
run for the rest
when
of his
that
life right
stepfather
now.
said that,
Huh?
I was just like, oh,
I
I
ain't gonna lie, that
realized it's
stepdad
power
shit is
play,
a
right? Because
risky
he told
game,
him,
man.
he's
That
like,
that
keep this up, and when you stay in that 1 bedroom apartment, blame this on your mom. I was like, but I
no,
was
but
just
see,
like, the
that
power
comes in
play
a
from the stepfather. I was like, I learned like, oh shit.
well. That's when you're in a situation where either your dad is not acting right, and I think that's the majority of what people see, and that's why I kind of give my ex-wife and I'm learning to give grace on this situation because we growing up, it's not just a men situation. 80% of this generation, people, from 20 to about 50 to 60 right now, almost grew up without a parent or with a step parent. And so it's like, yo, what when you have a real father in the household, all the rules change. Everything at that point changes because I don't care what the mother told you. If I said something, right, or me and we not cool and you do something, I hope you don't think you're going to be able to hide behind the mother. What you think I care? You,
And another thing I
you
picked,
ain't told her yet? Like she ain't told you who I am yet? That's on you.
what you think? Yeah, another thing I picked up on that child is all right. For an example, let's say I'm a black man, I get with a woman, I'm step parenting a Hispanic child. I gotta be familiar with their culture. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't even know these type of dynamics in play. Like I knew of my stepdaughter because she's black, she's Italian. I grew up with Italians. I live in the Bronx. I live right on top of my grandmother all my life. My best friend is Italian. So I know shit. You know what I'm saying? But people don't even know that. Sermon don't even know that. So you can't really like. This is why I don't want to be a step parent, bro. Like I don't. I'm not doing it again. I did it one time. Not again at all.
Most men don't make it out of it with glorious stories. They talk about once upon a time situation.
It's just not wise to play the cleanup guy, man. Like you gonna take it out all across the board, man. Know what I mean?
Yeah. If it goes south, you take every L.
The baby mother, you wife up the
Russ,
other nigga, bro.
I plead the fifth.
No, I mean it's cool. You know what I mean? Like we all make mistakes. I mean, but I'm just saying it's just every time I talk to a dude that's a stepfather, he hates it. You know what I mean? He regrets it because he know he getting the short end of the stick, man. Know what I mean?
Now, don't get me wrong. Like,
it's not wise to play cleanup guy, man. It's not a good thing, man. Ain't nobody gonna appreciate you. Know what I mean?
Nah, well, don't say nobody though. Don't say nobody though. That's not everybody.
Dad is not there. The stepfather.
Man, nobody cares about the stepdad. Nobody respects that nigga because everybody know he a sucker.
Well, wait a minute.
What's the first
bro?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, bro. Wait a minute.
I'm staring,
There's a reason why I say that though. There's a reason why I say that. Because again, you don't know my situation. So again, my father was a stepfather to my older brother, to one of my older brothers. I don't give a fuck for the other nigga. Okay, I got two older brothers. Right? I got two older brothers.
Yeah.
One of my other brothers I don't give two fucks for. He can die in a ditch. I don't give a fuck. But the other one that I do have, that I do care about, that we still are connected, if my father wasn't there, my brother wouldn't have no one that cared about him. His own fucking father didn't care about him. Every single time he ever saw his father, that he was able to reconnect back to, my mother had no problem letting him reconnect back to. It was war between them. As far as what he told me. Straight up. And because I never knew this from my brother's end when he told me this, pretty much he had to sort of like deal with that mindset of like he had abandonment issues. But you would never know because my brother don't come off like that. He's that type of dude that had abandonment issues. But the fact that you made him and you were supposed to be his father and you didn't do that and you didn't handle your business, I'm like, bro, my brother looked at his own father as a loser, as a lame. But he looks at my father as the man that actually handled and took care of him. He respects him way more than he respects his own father. So that's what I'm saying. Like, again, we talk about all these stepfathers, whoop-de-woo. Every situation is different. As far as for everybody else, I see what everyone's talking about. Because again, I have my other so-called brother, and I be like, I see what everyone's talking about because that bitch ass nigga right there is the thing that makes me realize what every other nigga is out here talking about. So I get what everybody else say about the quote unquote stepfather taking L's. I get it. I see both sides. I've seen both sides. But that's what I'm saying. Like that whole idea of, the stepfather, he just takes L's. He ain't nothing respected. That's all very situational.
I think as society, we do have to show respect and honor to stepfathers because just hold on. Who's going to raise these kids? Like when we say mentors, right? And boys and girls clubs, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a stepfather. When you say uncles coming in, stepfather. Grandfather is stepping in, stepfather, because that father is not there, be it because he don't want to, be it because he got another relationship and raised another family, be it that he did.
Yo, let me interject real quick.
Those are mentors, bro. Those are
but hold on, we do have to show honor towards other men, because guess what? Also, there's also siblings involved, and we got half siblings. None of us families, they got things that's going on. Nobody came out like wearing white and was a virgin and like all this other stuff. We was living some weird soap opera stuff before soap operas came out. So at some point, thank God for stepfathers that did have a place for people to stay. Mom they got that retirement because now all the grandkids could be there, like, and got the pension too. So, I mean, the stepfathers was the redeemer.
And
Nowadays,
those other guys is like mentors. Because my uncle,
yeah,
he was a great mentor. He was a dope father. He got custody of his
and
son.
you saw it. He was an Uncle
I seen.
Phil,
So I
stepfather.
ain't gonna call my uncle a stepfather. I call him my uncle, a great mentor, a great pillar,
Yeah,
and
like
all the
Uncle
other
Phil.
mentors, from the gym teachers to the school counselors to the people in Big Brothers Big Sisters program, to the PAL program, to
Yeah,
all the programs I've been to. You feel what I'm saying? 100%. Because the problem I feel like is we don't have much, and I feel like when you be able to be vulnerable and share a glimpse of your testimony or your story of trials and tribulations, because I've been doing it with different frequent people I've been bumping into, especially I work in the rehab. And you know, I see like certain men is afraid to touch up and speak on certain things, you know what I mean? Whether if they was a stepdad or, whatever, got married and ran off with everything. Like, it's just talk about it. It's okay. Like, I think they be scared. They don't want to look like a loser. But you ain't a loser. I ain't a loser. I took my stepdaughter to see her dad.
yeah, but there's some men that loser. Like, hey, I'm gonna bring back this milk.
Hey guys, look guys, I'm sorry. There's no benefit in this situation, bro. That's crazy.
My thing is, hold up, my bad. My thing is, right, like, it's just not a good thing for a dude to play cleanup, man. And the reason why there's so many heads that's playing cleanup right now is because they OD off the blue pill. Know what I mean? Like, they're brainwashed to be the sucker, you know? Society tells you, like, yo, you supposed to step up, be a man and all this. Like, yo, nah. It's a stupid thing to raise another man's child, man. It's just not. Personally, I would never do something like that. Know what I mean? Like, that's
You're doing that. That's the thing. Like, if you're a coach, you're doing it. If you're a teacher, you're doing it. I think what we don't look at, right, when we're doing the first segment, we talking about like men and be proud.
No, hold on. Let me tell you. Hold on. Let me tell you why the stepfather is a sucker. He's doing everything for the peace league. You know what I mean? Like, that's his agenda, and his reward is getting played like a fiddle. Know what I mean? Because nobody respects the stepdad, man. Nobody respects the stepdad or appreciate him, man.
Yo, Russ, listen, man, I gotta give it. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. My baby mom was up, right? And I was gonna marry her and everything, right? She was up in the room. You know, we had a little 2-bedroom, whatever. My stepdaughter was in the other room. She was up. She usually be up like to 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And I just went in here and I told her, like, it's time to go to bed. Get off your phone, time to go to bed. If I'm lying, I'm flying, I'm dying. Bro, why is it time later? She's with her grandmother and her mother. And she's like, oh, Meech told me to shut the fuck up. And her mom, no, he didn't. He ain't tell you that. I was up. I heard what he said. He told you to go to bed. Oh, my God. When her mom came back and told me that, my heart was like...
You see what we said it earlier, though, bro. Once that child, this is where people think this is where the odds mess up against you.
Yo, hey, let me just say this real quick. You thank God she only just lied about that. She could have lied about something else, man. Know what I mean? That's why I'm telling y'all niggas, man, don't be a stepdad, my nigga. Look how she played him.
Bro,
you
that's why I'm telling you, I don't.
What she do? She go lie to her peoples and tell them he told her to shut the fuck up. Nigga, that's a problem, nigga.
Yo, bro, first of all, do you know how hurt I was when her mom came back and told me that? I was hurt. Like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, she told my mother that. I'm like, I was so eggshells. I ain't gonna lie. I was waiting for the relationship to be done. I ain't gonna hold you. I was scared. Because it's like, yo, bro, you gotta be mindful of children, say things, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's like, you gotta really know. A child you gotta really bribe a child to like you. Like you could play basketball. I could show
You're
you.
not bribing my child, big dog.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's weird
I'm
shit.
saying
It's
the
not even
daddy is
robbing.
there.
Like
It's not happening, bro.
you could even take you could go get your little cousins and everybody and and you could take them to the amusement parks and everything, shoot basketball hoops, take them.
That's
But
what's
Yo,
gonna happen.
yo, Jack, real quick. Hold on. Let me just say this, right? You see Mr. B's reaction, like, you know, I'm quite sure he ain't gonna feel his ex-wife bringing another man around the picture with his seed, man. Like, this is why you should never play cleanup,
I
man.
know, like he
He
there,
comes with a lot of
me,
problems.
me and him butt heads. Me and him are bumping heads because he on that sucker shit, and I'm letting him know, like, bro, you can hide behind these courtrooms, you can hide behind this woman, but all I can tell people is this: like, I don't care how they want to take this. If they ever hear this, when it comes to my child, I'm the plumber, bro. It's no, I got to in a real type of way. Like, it has to happen, bro.
You're not gonna be co-parenting though?
No, I'm co-parenting with my ex-wife. He's irrelevant. Let me tell you something. He is irrelevant.
Only this because
this
when
woman,
something happens to that child, who's really gonna get the phone call? Mr. B, right? Not him.
it better be me first or the mama.
Even and this is why I don't even understand because it should be so diabolical. You know how many times kids be going to emergency rooms and dads don't even be knowing, but the stepdad be knowing. You're like stepdad don't even be in the emergency room with kid. Like that's diabolical. That's crazy. That fucks with your masculinity. I feel me.
If the
It's
biological dad is not there, I understand the stepfather role. All I would say is this: as if I had a daughter or a niece and I was in that looking at that situation where she's just unfortunate, I'm letting her know that you're gonna 9 times out of 10 date a predator. It's as simple as that. So, and this is where we at in life. If that's what you must do, I'm letting you know. Here's your odds that most likely you're gonna be with a predator. Be careful.
Yeah, man. It's just like, like dealing with another man's child, man. That is a real sensitive situation. And a lot of times the baby mother will paint a picture like she ain't do nothing wrong. You know what I mean? A lot of you guys out there that's playing cleanup, which I don't advise y'all to do, you gotta look at both situations and discern whether or not if she's full of shit or she keeping it a being with you. But 9 times out of 10, she's lying about her baby daddy, man. She's fucking shit up, making shit worse, and create friction between the baby daddy and the father. Know what I mean? So the biological father. So it's just fam, don't play cleanup, man. It's just not a wise.
She playing with
not
your life.
wise.
That's what she doing, bro. She playing with your life because you mess with the right baby daddy or the right ex-husband, and he on timing, bro. There's nothing that you can go beg of him not to do. It's not social media. Like, bro, really go get active. And once that happened, whatever your theology in your head was, it don't matter. Like, this person is not playing about their child. And for some odd reason, in this world, they talking about don't mess with a woman and her child. But it's like, what about the daddy? The daddy that's willing to crash out worse than a mama? The one that's way stronger, faster, most likely can do more harm or more violence. You ain't worried about him? Are you willing to provoke him? Then it's like, hold up, you're willing to provoke this man about his child? Like, who does stuff like that? Only a sucker do something like that. Like, yo, what?
And the most sucker shit you could do is not really try to get an understanding and correlation. You a man, so you should be standing 10 toes. You shouldn't be taking nothing a woman telling you, and should make that bridge come bond. They don't gotta be friends, but son should be able to come get his kid. It's quite frankly that simple. Because if the roles was reversed, a lot of men wouldn't even like that. Let's keep it for real. A lot of men will be on go, acting crazy on dummy mode. But a lot of us melanated men, we be on the stereotypes. Like, we ain't trying to cash out. But I know for a fact, like, if it get to the nitty gritty, it's not going to be nice. And you see, we be trying to prevent these things. But you see, A lot of niggas, like I said, be wet behind the ears. Like when she spoke bad of her child's father in front of me, and oh, you can't go to your dad's house. I cut that shit off. Not happening.
I,
Not while you in my life. Not while I'm around. I don't give a fuck about nothing because at the end of the day, she could go see for herself, and then she can make the decision if she want to go or not. Let her see for herself. Don't sit here and do that in front of me. But you see, I was blind. But you see, I still stand on business. Like everything happened for a God-given reason. Like I see my son, I get him when I can, but I need to get him on a real constructive program, not when motherfuckers want me to. You know what I mean? Not having it. Need them all the time. So that's why I'm in court. But a lot of men don't even be having the backbone because they be so thirsty just trying to get a pussy or a place to stay. And that shit's sad because if I tell you don't allow niggas to come in your life and use you for your car and your crib, and you still allow niggas to come in your life and use you for your car and your crib, I ain't even use you for your crib and car. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you something because I care about you. A lot of women do that. They'll let a silly nigga come, use them for their crib and their car just because sometimes they can control the nigga. Sometimes the nigga is just, I guess, fresh meat, ding-a-ling. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not a woman. But they do weak shit, dumb shit.
I'm telling you right now, bro. It's just sucker stuff. I don't know. I get it, if you desperate, but I I don't get how people can play this stepfather in any type of way out as a benefit to anybody. I don't even know where we got on that page where we're being okay with it. Because I get the history of stepfathers, but in American history, stepfathers was about saving the woman from the pimps, gigolos, the people on the street because the father went off to war and was unalive. Now it's like people are glorifying a woman that decided to meet a man and have a child within the first 6 months, a year, knowing them, never marrying them. That I think that's where I'm kind of drawing my line at with those type of people. Like, yo, hold up, you ain't make no good life choices as an adult, and then you coming over here to my face asking me to be a part of that. Like, you know how I'm gonna be weak, bro. I'm gonna laugh in her face like that's straight crazy work, and it's disrespectful.
Yeah, you see, like now we live in that's why I say, like, you see, I was born in '93. We live in the greatest time to be alive because we can network now. You see, wasn't hearing all this shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Men fell down the drain because so now you see if our ears and our eyes is in the right place and we listen and we see certain things and we still could remain. A lot of men back in the days, they just went off the deep end. We gotta realize, like, it wasn't really that much support than now technology. So a lot of certain men is sharing certain game here and there on YouTube, or I don't know. I just been a different dude, and that was my mistake. I ain't gonna lie, because it was the first time in my life I was even in that peak of my life. I had already had a son taking care of him. So not for nothing, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I needed help because at the end of the day, I was taking my son to school. I was taking him to work with me too, both of my jobs. When he wasn't at school, his mom was doing mad bullshit. For me, I already took her to court for joint custody. I was going to do it again. You know what I mean? I, my family wasn't really supporting me. All the women in my family, is more women in my family than there's men. And it's not even about financial support. It's about wisdom. You know what I mean? Keep me aware of certain things, tactics, shit like that. So, I bumped into my new baby mom. I knew her from back in the day when we was kids. That's why I even got my kids on social media. I share them rarely because it's very particular right now. Like, women will see you taking your kid out, expressing yourself, you being a good dad. They'll come sneak up in your life, have a kid with you, and run off because no income tax, bread, and these are the basics. But it is even deeper than that because genuinely they're not even aware of what they're doing because of their trauma and all the shit that they've been through. And it's not even the relationship shit. It's when they was kids and shit. So it's like, caught on, pulled myself together. I got another place. You know what I mean? I'm working on getting another car, but it's like a lot of niggas even make it through. Like we got the ability to make it through because we got a computer on our hands, and then we can network. I met y'all. I met Rush. We spoke a little while ago, but a lot of men be afraid to even ask for help, a little bit of advice, network from a strange face that they don't know. Young men, older men, and it shouldn't be like that, but that's how we ingrain our culture to be, no matter where we at. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the part that we kind of gotta fix. Like, we do need brotherhood. Like, we do need more knowledge. Like Mr. B, like 100%, I agree with everything you say, and it's not even a complaint. But if we gonna fix our culture, this is how we gotta do it more in like a embracing, knowledgeable type of way, sharing testimonies type shit, and that's what give the young brothers a little knowledge and game. And you sometimes we gotta be raw, uncut, and unfiltered. You know, us men, we can get.
Hey, Rush, tell them I'm very unfiltered. Like I'm gonna let it cook when it get hot. Like, but I feel you. But it's like I think people have been saying stuff, and it's at the point now where people in the world are no longer caring. That's how I am. I'm no longer caring. I'm not giving people that energy of ignorance no more, bro. Like, be honest with you. Like if you get pulled over for something, and you can't use ignorance as an excuse, bro, you gonna be sitting right in front of a judge, bro. It's no way around it. But then when it comes to romantic relationships, we sit out here and we do this little game where we act like it's not life and death. It's not life and reality. Like this is what's really about to happen to you, bro. If you don't play the game right, you don't want to listen. This is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'll give you an example of that. I have one friend. I got several friends, but this one friend, he is the 8th baby father, and this is his first son. And so, and he has a good heart. So he's like, yeah, he's the 8th baby.
Wait, run that back.
You say the 8th baby daddy?
Mm-hmm. But this is his first son. And so he has a good heart. Like he,
that's what I'm talking about. Nobody want this dude not to go behind another man's broad. Like he the 8th one.
Yeah, but we go to nightclubs, you go on cruises, and you meet these women. You don't ask the questions like who's watching your child? Like, do you have any kids? Were you married? All you see is big old cheeks. You on the cruise, you know what I'm saying? You know, clapping macaroni and cheese sounds. Then after that, you travel half across the nation, go see her. She comes to Florida, come see her.
This is crazy.
She pregnant, right? I had like another friend of mine, right? He finished paying child support. He threw himself a child support party.
Yo, wait, Mustard. Wait, time out, Mustard.
Yeah.
What age did he hit? What age?
40.
Was it?
40.
Huh?
40.
He was 40? Nah.
Went on the cruise. That cruise changed his whole life.
I'm 30, bro. I got my first kid, and my second kid, mom is her second kid.
But look, when we look at it, right? A lot of women, like, yeah, you probably got some people pregnant, but those babies escapes because we're on YouTube. We can't say what it is, right? So they never came to term. This one came to term, and this is his first son. So he excited, and you know what he does for his son, he do it for the other three, because they're close in age. Yeah.
I mean, we got to get him a sucker nigga of the year. We got to get him.
But there's some more, right?
Mustard, you got to get him on the show, Mustard.
No, I'm not going to
get him. We got to get him on the award.
I don't want him to be depressed.
We got to get him a plaque.
I don't want him to be depressed, but that's his firstborn son. That's his firstborn son.
Bro, let me when I talk about my firstborn son, he's my only son, my only child, and I just couldn't fathom 8 children in 40 years old, and you happy because this is your first boy at 40?
Yeah.
I didn't even live to see this man graduate high school.
What you mean? We live longer nowadays.
The average lifespan is about 60, bro. We talking about this man already 40, and that's saying that he has a good, decent life. Most human beings and most African Americans don't have a good life.
No, he's not African American. He's Caribbean. Like our father is like his father and grandfather still making kids. His father is like 90 making kids, and his father in the wheelchair 110 making kids. So they Jamaicans. I don't know what they do over there, but they making kids. The other, I'm just gonna say this: it takes two. If the woman you with is taking Plan Bs and don't want to have your child, and the woman you met who did have 8 kids, you didn't know about it, or 7 kids, and yours the 8th, and she's carrying the full term, he's excited. I can't be mad at him.
Oh, wait, time out. Flag on the play.
I couldn't be his homeboy. I couldn't be his homeboy. I would be on his head every day.
Flag on the play.
Like, I'm not. That's between him and her.
So he was with a chick that couldn't get pregnant, quote unquote, and then
no. But for him, right? If they're having, because we're on YouTube, we can't say the other word, right? Okay, yes, right. So if they don't want to carry the baby, and this one did, it was like, okay, for him, he said, I got a bonus family. But I got to tell you about the second guy, which is a lot of guys, because I got like a couple other friends, they finished child support. They should be happy. They threw a party. They met a chick at the party, pregnant. I'm like, dude, you just got done. Now you back on the Ferris wheel. All that to say is, are we
I got
ever going
two
to get
suggestions for all the brothers. Yeah. Y'all better learn how to pull out quick, because apparently these older cats can't pull out.
Pull out is a joke, man. Y'all better wear some condoms or snap, because this pulling out stuff ain't gonna work. If she wants to have that baby and you got a job and you throwing the party, she see a plan.
That's not no advice, man. Yo, listen, man. Yo, just live a righteous path. Don't be knocking up these chicks out here, man, because I guarantee you gonna regret it. Child support court ain't gonna show you no love. Your moms ain't gonna show you no love.
Mr. B,
you gonna play like a fiddle throughout the whole entire lifespan of that child's living. Know what I mean?
But
so
look,
stay fucking free. Don't be smashing these random chicks out here, man. Word is born.
I got a question for y'all. Y'all older than me. I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 31, by the way. But I got 2 sons. So would it be bad for me to just live life marvelously?
Yeah, someone will call you selfish. I got called selfish. I'm just raising one daughter. And
I'm taking care of my kids, but
yeah, you're selfish because you're not helping them get another family, and you're not giving them kids, and you're not letting them move in your apartment, and you're not paying their bills. You're selfish. You and Mr. B and Rush and me and Wally are selfish. They looking at this channel, and they probably got some chicken legs right now, some chicken feet, casting spells, so we can fall in love and pay some bills. So that's how women see it. You free, you taking care of your kids. No, for real. I had one chick came to my house, right? She saw my kids' dolls, right? And she's like, oh, you got a daughter. I'm like, yeah, this is her room. And then she's like, then what about me? Where I'm going to stay? I'm like, you're not going to stay here? Like, I have a daughter. Like, you can't be here. Me and her made a deal. No stepmothers. We made that deal. When she go to college, then I can start over again, right? And then she get little playmates after that. But right now, no. She said I was selfish. And she called me selfish. And she called me selfish Stan. That's every time she saw me. What's up, selfish Stan? What's up, selfish Stan? I'm just like, you're not going to break me. Because I want to call her like, broken home Becky, but I didn't do it. She kept on calling me selfish, but I never called her broken home Becky or broke Becky. But we're selfish. To a lot of women, we are selfish. We're selfish as all get out. Because we're supposed to sit down and make them move into our house and make room and pay for their bills. So yes, you selfish right now, sir. You got 2 sons, and how dare you not take her in with her 4?
I'm not even talking to her, bro. I might have to block her. As soon as I find out.
What, Mr. B? That's selfish. You have the resource.
Like, I have to stand on business. Like, I come to terms, like, I most likely won't have another kid for another 9 years. Because I got to wait till my son get out the household. And there ain't no deal me and her made. It's just me on understanding that I don't want to wake up with another man's kids around me. I don't want to take care of one of my kids more than I take care of another one. I don't feel like that's right. So I'm good with my one. But no.
But
I should
Mr.
have kept
B,
it
you
out my
just said
butt.
that
I could
you
have been
just said that
Mr.
he's in
B
his
right
40s, right? In 10 years, you be in your 40s. So isn't that selfish too? Because you're gonna be gone and dead in your 60s. Although we don't know how long
That's
you're
fine,
gonna
you
live.
know, because I'm not gonna lie about it. I think that's the thing that people are what we're trying to say to people. It's like you can do whatever you want to do. To be honest with you, G, but the delusion is what people have the confusion about. Because then you come have a regular conversation and then you want me just to think, oh well, yeah, I got a baby daddy, you know, and you're allowed to disrespect this man, right? You got 2 kids buying, 3 kids buying, 1 kid buying, and you're allowed, and you think that you can come to me,
Mm-hmm.
another man, and
Mm-hmm.
bash another man in my face. Now, all the men on this panel, have you ever been able to go to a woman, no matter what this woman is to you, auntie, mama, cousin, girlfriend, sister, and go complain about another woman too much? Like some of them might let you get away with a little bit, but they go hit you with that. Not too much now. Understand she a woman, and they gonna
Mm-hmm.
start hitting you with this, and then they gonna feel bad. Like, how could you talk about her and treat her like that? But as a man, you would sit right there and allow this woman to disrespect her baby daddy, the person that she had a child with.
Mr. B, you know, one time my mom, I knew she worked for the ops. You know what she told me? When I was complaining about my ex-girlfriend, or at that time she was my girlfriend, she's like, she's only doing it because she loves you. And I was like, excuse me? She calls
That's
me
the
a
most.
job. And
That's
she's
the
like, it's
most
because she loves
unhealed.
you.
That's the most unhealed rhetoric I've ever heard in life. She only what?
And you know, that was like the last time I talked to my mom about women after that. It was like, if I was for sure going to date a woman, then I'd bring around my mom. But after that, when she said, like, yeah, she didn't want you to have that job because she loves you and she's scared, I was like, okay, you work for the ops. I got you.
A lot of people don't know. Like I'm telling you, bro, we're moving into a new world, and I've been out here saying this stuff for years. It's funny because it's happening day after day. People are allowed to do stuff. Just think about it right now. They just said it's only 2 sexes. How many years did we complain about all this gender role? Matter of fact, I want to drop a gem with y'all real quick, and I try to drop this with people. But it's this guy when y'all talk about gender roles. So y'all are under the impression that gender roles are, what is gender roles to y'all? First of all, let me ask that.
I know I got to pay. That's what, no matter what, I pay. Like,
Like a quick definition of what a gender role is. When you think of gender role, where are you thinking? Where are you coming from with it?
I go to war, I die, I pay.
Okay. Anybody else?
I mean, basically, it's like, you know, the man do the hard labor and stuff. He gives the provision, protection, provides the finances, and the female pretty much implement into his lifestyle with some help. She helps the man out, you know, whether she's cooking, cleaning, you know, taking care of the kids, you know, gender roles. You know what I mean?
Gender roles. Okay. Essentially,
To
that
me,
is the social construct of what people have made it, right? So when you go look up gender roles, it's going to say something. I just charged my phone up, but it's going to say something to the tune of, it's going to say something to the tune of a gender role is based off of a social construct, essentially, right? So for the people who were doing all of that, that's what they were doing, because there's a difference between a gender role and your sex, right? Male and female is sex. That is not a gender role. Gender role is a scientific term. It's a guy named John Money. He was coined with coming up with the word gender role because he had to have surgery on these twins. It was something with their urination tract or something like that. One of them couldn't urinate or something like that. So they real life had to do a surgery. And one of them decided, I think, to grow up as a woman, and the other one decided to grow up as a male. And that's where the kind of the construct of gender role comes from. It was because now, due to certain situations such as hermaphrodites or this situation where they had to have surgery at a young, at birth, that's what gender roles were. So that's why when I look at people and they like, oh, gender roles is like, man,
Wait a minute. He operated on somebody that was a hermaphrodite.
Well, it was a twins. They were twins. They were born at the same time, but it was something about their urination tract. They couldn't use the restroom properly. His name is John Money. He's from New Zealand. When you look him up, you're going to see all of it, and it's going to be like, hold up, I thought gender roles. Your gender roles is a social construct. Their gender roles, and the reason why it says sex or gender is because they're talking about two different things. You could be a male and choose your gender. That's why I tell people I don't do gender roles, because they don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah, when I go off to gender roles, I just like.
Well, I mean, based on our back for interjecting, but based on our social construct, like it's been like that since like the beginning of time. You know, it's pretty much when somebody expressed to somebody else on gender roles, it's pretty much telling you that, hey, you know, the man do the blue work, provide provision and money,
Gender roles
and
didn't come about.
pretty much like domestic chores. I mean,
Gender
that's how
roles
it's been
didn't
like.
come, bro.
Yeah, but not it's based on our social construct since the beginning of time. Know what I mean? Like,
That's why I'm
for
trying to tell you, it
conversation's
wasn't
sake,
like
like,
that though. The gender roles,
but I'm saying though, like, for conversation's sake, that's just how
a lot of
most
people
people
see it.
look at it. Like,
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's how they see it, and
It's
that's what
like
they think.
this form of communication, like people's open terminology when they're trying to communicate.
Right, but see, this is the thing about communication too. Like, yeah, you got to make sure the other person understand, but it got to be like some theory, some objective truths behind it too. You know, and that's what I be trying to tell folk is like, look, before, and I said it earlier, and I keep trying to say this. What people thought they saw as tradition wasn't tradition. It was these folks trying to survive. Your grandma and granddaddy was trying to survive. You thought they cared anything about some doggone gender roles at the time?
Hey, they about to survive next year when there's no Section 8. So
Yeah, I just figured like back then they just like
They
who
were
was
doing
good
what they
at
had
what.
to do
It
to
was covering each
survive.
other. Yeah, working with each
yeah,
other.
right now people got to survive. So
But no, that's what I'm saying is the problem. They're looking at it as, well, my granddaddy did all this by himself back then. Yeah, but your grandma also saved on child daycare, also saved on cooking, helping patching your clothes. Y'all don't realize back then they wasn't all this fashion stuff. People went out here just
right.
balling like that.
Nah, I agree. I agree.
You know, like it
I
wasn't
agree
all
with
of that.
I agree with you.
So that's why I'm trying to tell people, like, it
Now
wasn't
I
a
was.
tradition. Say what, bro?
he said he agreed with you.
Yeah. That's why I'm telling people, like, stop saying it's tradition. Them folks was trying to survive, and right now we're doing the same thing, trying to survive, but y'all misinterpreting it. You know, y'all are literally misunderstanding what's going on, and then asking everybody else what's wrong when everybody else like, well, you should already know the answer.
I think they know the answer, Mr. B. They just don't want to accept reality. After being on these panels, I realized people have a grandiose way of living, and sometimes give them the truth, make them fight to stay in their um, delusion.
I
So
just feel like certain people don't got to fight no more. Like they feel like it's be a survival struggle, but regardless of what in life you have to survive. So people they don't know life is a roller coaster. I think everybody live this mystical life and expect people to even create business with each other in the first year they're gonna get a payout. Not even like, all right, we can make the salary greater for us if we just built this business and we just save everything for 2 years, work our personal jobs. From we save everything off our business, work our personal jobs. Now 2 years later, everybody have a good piece of the pie to go do another business avenue for self, but we still got this main business. People are so individualized that they're willing to struggle and survive and die alone because you got to think about it. If dads wasn't in the home, they don't know how to be a team player. They don't know how to be a team player. They don't know how to take constructive criticism. They don't know how to take constructive criticism is flung along to flunk. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You got to think about it. Us men came outside. We knew who was the greater at what, who captain picked the basketball team, football, whatever. Everybody played a role in the position and did what they were supposed to do. It's just when dad is not in the home, niggas, it plays out just like this. It leaves mom exhausted, overbearing with all different types of tasks. Now she don't really got the time to give to her children, and people got to realize your child got their own personality. So you got to know their personality and try to figure out how you can treat them all as a whole together. You still got to embrace their feelings, their emotions, allow them to be seen and heard. And this is what we all been through. I'm not gonna say us on the panel, but majority of the people ain't been seen and heard. So there's a little crack that just needs to be filled right quick. But it takes accountability, people looking in the mirror, holding weight. Cause I know us men right here, we haven't subscribed to this system. You understand what I'm saying? We ain't create this, we ain't subscribed to it. We actually trying to do better and greater. You know, I know plenty of men. You know, I talk to more men than I talk to women. You feel me? Especially the past 2 years. But even all my life, I see men I grew up with. They're not in prison. They're not hustling. They're striving to be the best version of themselves.
But spoken truth, you said she need help, and that's where the stepfather comes in.
Nah, I think we need community. We don't need stepfather. We need community. And
I
that
don't
community,
need no stepfathers. Listen,
yeah.
let me tell you
If she ain't
something.
got nobody, she needs.
We need the older
father.
married couples that's successful.
No, no jokes. Hold up.
Yeah.
No, all jokes aside. Listen, over 70% of children under the age of 8 are sexually, mentally, physically, or sexually.
Yeah, another word you about to say.
Yeah, in some type of way.
Yes.
And majority of these people that are doing it, the majority of these kids know the perpetrator. So what I'm getting at is how this is, and I'm not coming at you or anybody. This is why I say this. Being a stepfather is very predatory to me. I'm always treat him as a predator because of this. The only access for these children to get that type of situation done to them is because the father is not there daily or on a consistent basis. So now the mother has allowed somebody to come convince her that the stepfather is the best next option. And it's not just a stepfather, right? What we're saying is that basically, essentially, there's almost a 70% chance that some man that you have around your child, whether it be your brother, your cousin, your half sibling, his cousins, they're going to do something to your child, all because the biological father is not around. Because when the biological father is around, he's a threat. Everybody understands the reality of, hey, if that boy or that child go tell his daddy anything and his daddy believes it, it's over with for you. The absence of that threat level right there, is why men think that it's okay. Or it's okay to play around with it. But I'm telling you, that's what he's doing. Because he's like, hey, you ain't got no man around. I can do whatever I want. And these kids get into that Stockholm syndrome because they're used to it. It was okay for stepfathers to whoop on the child. It was okay for stepfathers to go to the bathroom door and hand things through the door and open up the door and act like, well, it's nothing, or you just my child. No.
Yeah, the only reason I mentioned the stepfather is because it's a reality. When we look at like Fugazi, right, and he was talking about no stepfathers, turn out he is one, and he impregnated a single mom twice, and he caused one. So it's like, there is something that's going on where men are becoming stepfathers and wifing up baby mothers and making more baby mothers. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something
like they didn't lose a family. They want to feel in need, in debt, and needed. And it's a little boy.
But that's the thing, right? Because I'm wondering, like, do we ever talk about the paternal love of a man? We always talk about women and their maternal love, but we're not talking about paternal love. And I always mention, like, I think men do this stuff because they want to be part of the family. They want a connection because they don't have it and they're just alone and they don't want to be alone. So they're more accepting to it. And so I wonder, like, do we accept that as men? Like, there are some men out here that's going to be, as Rush say, suckers because they want
I ain't
to
gonna
have
lie. If you look
family.
at the climate, I mean,
Mhm.
it's kind of hard to really find a woman without a child right now. I ain't gonna hold you.
No, it's not.
It's a little difficult. Nah.
Nuh-uh.
But it
What
It's
you
is.
not.
think, Rush?
I'm, a,
Rush on the East
I'm
Coast.
about
What
to
you
say
think, Rush?
something. I'm about to say something, Rush.
Uh,
You about to,
Yeah, it's true. It's hard to find a female that don't have no kids, but
I'm
don't
about to cook. I'm about to
man.
cook. I'm about to cook y'all now. So boom. Now I'm about to tell y'all this. If you're searching in what they call the black community and you're dating and what they consider African American community, then yes, you're correct. Because 80% of them are single mothers, which means that out of every 100 you see, 80 of them are 80% chance that they're single mothers. But if you go to any other race, that is under 40%. So I'm just
Okay.
gonna tell you right now, leave community alone.
Yo, that's actually true.
Probability
I
goes
read
up.
those stats. I actually read those stats. That's true.
I'm telling you, if you're talking about being a single mother, the passport bro stuff is not a joke. The date outside your race is not a joke because now what happens is you put yourself ahead.
Yeah, and there's women out here and they have their own panels. They did the right thing. They didn't do the 304 route. They didn't go through the whole phase. They went to school, stayed in church, and they're waiting. It's a lot of men that choose single moms, and those men are not being honest about why they choose them or why they're getting them pregnant. I remember one friend of mine, he sought out single moms out in the projects because he thought of them as housing. So if she already have a son or a daughter, she gonna get her pregnant again. And by getting her pregnant one or two times and helping out with the first child, he got solid housing without getting married because he could become a
That's
caregiver.
real dirtball shit.
Now that's what most women go with. They want you to do this stuff, and it's the first man that's willing to do it. It's literally like that's almost the name of the game. Any man with self-respect, he not gonna have that baby. She want the guy to he accidentally did this. You put this. We're not doing that because when a woman do that to me, I'm gonna tell her last time I checked, you actually.
Yo, Mr. B. Any man with some self respect for himself or whatever, they consider that dude as a sassy type dude. They call him sassy. Know what I mean?
I'll be sassy. That's fine.
Which is crazy to me, man.
It's nothing wrong with me being sassy because here gonna be the thing.
Mm-hmm.
See, this how I'm looking at the game for myself, and I hope this is not cynical or disturb anybody. But as I get older, right, most men financially come into their financial wealth are in their 40s. I'm retired already. Most people that know that about me, and I work a part-time job. So that means that in the next 10 years, my funds are going to be so well that I'm gonna have the availability to date any woman from the age of 23 to about 40.
But you see,
And I can choose a woman with or without a child at that point as well. I have options as I get older, and it's going to be well for me. So you can sit out here and do all of that. But at the end of the day, when the market opened back up for certain women, are you still gonna get picked? So you didn't get picked in your first go round. Them early 20s. Now here it is, late 20s, early 30s, and you got men who are 40, 35 years old coming at you, and you're not ready. That's on you. But at that point, it's just fun. That's when you see all these trick daddies out here. Sugar daddies like, hey, I'm 45, man. I'm not getting married again. I'm not having no more kids. You come get a 3-month subscription. You come spend a night for 3 nights.
But you see, Mr. B, that's what I'm saying. Like, women will see us as being selfish. You got retired. You already got a plan. And their question is now is going to be, how do I fit in? And why you ain't think about me? And how come you ain't consider me and consider my life and my plans and my dreams? And that's what we get called selfish.
I don't worry about that.
Yeah.
What you say, spoken truth?
All you gotta do is tell you wasn't sure be in the gym. And that's what we try to tell
They're
them.
selfish. They too smart. They see it as selfish.
Yeah, that's what we try to tell them. Like, build and grow the nigga, because at the end of the day, what he just said, we all hit our prime to like 40, we bring in the chips. But you see, they watching Disney. They want the Disney fairy tale lifestyle. And a lot of us came from the mud, trying to make it out. It is either
But if you were following Disney, you'd have been married already. Because Disney ain't go out, saying tree branching from prince to prince to prince.
Well, no, that's idealistic. Is to marry your high school sweetheart, or to marry the person that you met in college. That is the idea. Once that does not happen, all the rules change. Once that does not happen, that women bias and all of that stuff, or that childhood love, all of those biases are gone. I
What you
don't know
about?
you.
What
I'm
you
talking about
about?
they want the Mickey Mouse voice, and they want the genie and Aladdin on a magic carpet, and
Family, do it right, then yeah, you can get that. Marry the first guy that you meet in high school or college.
But that's that proximity dating. That's somebody you grew up with, somebody the same.
Well, hold up though. Aladdin linked up with the princess, and he
He was
was
a
from the
thug.
streets, from the
He was
hood.
mud. He made it out the mud. That's what Aladdin is. Aladdin
Where did
Hercules.
it come
Both
from,
made
man?
mud.
After doing what he had to do. I'm just wanting men to make better decisions for themselves. I don't care what you make, but don't be no sucker with it. I'm cool with 60-40. 50-50 or 60-40. Make a compromise if you have to. But just being an adult, getting your life together. I know people talking about, I haven't bought a house. I don't think it's a market to buy a house, but always making sure you got your own place, making sure you got your own, your child got their own bedroom, and you got your car, and you always on it. There's never a drought in there. You always have transportation, and your child will always have somewhere to lay his head. I'm
Man,
telling
there's
you
women
right.
at my job. They say like, man, Stanley always date women have her own place. Never let her move in. Never let them disrupt your child life.
Yeah,
You
the woman with her own place, because that's going to show you a lot when men talk about discernment. A woman, right? Like, you don't have to ask this woman a certain question. Yeah, after dating her for 60 days, you already done peep game that she's a lot similar to you if both of you are paying your own bills. Some of your conversations, some of the errands might be kind of the same, constantly going to a Ross or Walmart, constantly going to housing markets or at the house doing something. You could tell right there that she's a wifey type situation, right? She's an adult, right? A lot of guys miss that discernment or that swag to be able to peep game without having to ask a woman, what type shawty she is. You already peep game because of how she moving. She got her own place, got her own car, got her own career. She not asking you to do anything.
So is it because we have arrested development that we still acting as though we're still in middle school and high school?
A lot of people are in adolescent mindsets. They
Hmm.
got Peter Pan syndrome. A lot of people have that syndrome.
yeah, I heard a lot of people don't mature past the 13-year-old mindset type shit.
Yeah. Like a common myth, they're like, oh, women mature faster than men. I said, that's crazy because the last time I checked, the prefrontal cortex in men and women, boys and girls, they grow at the same rate in roughly around 25. So when it comes to reason, logic, maturity, or intelligence, both men and women are somewhere within a variance of 23 to 28, really with their prefrontal cortex developing. So it's like, since when did women do that faster? They're like, oh, we're at 13 and this and that. No, what you're talking about is she's physically maturing faster than a man. But mentally, I think men are very mature because most men by the age of 18 had already have a job, already had a favorite sports team, already know what type of brand car they like, already know what they're gonna probably do for a living and what they want out of life. They're just doing it. Most men start their livelihood and career at 18 to 25. Most young men do that, bro. Most women are still trying to figure it out by 25 to 30. Men
Yeah,
have the luxury.
I agree with you on that. But yo, we hit the 2 hour mark. I'm about to kill this live. So let me get all y'all last words before I kill this live. Starting with you,
You're
Mr.
good.
Big.
You're good. I just want to understand, take away gender roles and stuff, and it'll help you look at life differently, from a more logical and realistic point of view instead of race and gender roles.
And Mr. B, how can people find you?
On TikTok at Mr. B Savage. Yeah. It's gonna have some funny stuff on there, but just look up Mr. B Savage and you'll know it's me.
Hey, only date rich girls, right?
I'm telling you, be a hypergamy. Hypergamy is not strict.
Mr. B Savage got that sucker free content, you heard?
Hey, Mr. B, guess what? My first car I bought, her name was Gina, and my second one I call him Jazz. Her name is Jasmine Guy or Whitley.
Yeah, okay.
Cause that's always believed. Like Pam and Gina is like, no thugaboo, no thugaboos.
Wally, what's up?
Wally, you still there with us?
Yeah. We closing out?
Yeah, we're about to close out. I thought you got that white girl to take care of you.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna
You keep that out. Go ahead.
Hey, all right. So this is Stan, aka Mustard. You can follow me on the Intellectual Soapbox Network, Knowledge and Relationship Network, also on Manic Sophistication, and also on here with Rush on the network. And you can follow me on Instagram, Big Herc, and I'm also on. I forget where I'm on. I'm on that other channel. The other one you got me on, Rush. What's the other one called? TikTok. I'm on TikTok. So Big Herc 510 on IG. And like Mr. B says, guys, drizzle, don't do broke chicks. You're not gonna be happy. You owe it to yourself. Just like Hercules and the Latin. If you made it out the mud, what you doing playing in dirt? Be a diamond in the rough and get out. And just like my African homies said, no more free wee wee. My African homies taught me that. Like, Joseph, no free wee wee. That's why you're always broke. You have wee wee that costs money for these women. Get your money. So learn, man, learn. But I think, Rush, one of these days we gotta talk paternal love, because what Mr. B and Spoken Truth talked about, like, and also Wally, like, men do choose mothers, single moms for a reason, from one way or another.
Shit. Hey.
Spoken Truth, you up? Where people can find you?
Yo, you can find me on TikTok, Spoken Truth 111. You can find me here on YouTube, Spoken Truth Podcast. And just stay true to yourself, man. Remain authentic, stay on course, stay on path, and always be that light that you deserve to be.
Wale, you next.
Shoot. I mean, honestly, yeah, you can just find me over at Manic the Sophistication. That's what I should say. You can find me here time to time whenever Rush wanted me to slide through. Other than that, you can also find me on Takashi Media Group, where I be with my teammates, talking about certain content here and there. So yeah.
I'm about to go.
Yo, thank you guys so much for coming through, man. I appreciate y'all so much, man. Yo, it's your boy Rush. This live stream is officially over. Seek wisdom, practice humility, and always remain sucker free. You heard? One. Later, Mr. B. Later, Stan. Later, Wale. Later, Spoken Truth. I'll catch y'all on the flip.
Peace.